Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Profitable Trading. My name is Syed Shafaqat. I've been a professional trader for the last 5 years. I'm here to bring a unique approach and a concept that I have learned on my own with immense time spent on backtesting and understanding how institutions behave. Because I've heard about all retail traders failing most of the times, hence my curiosity was always to know what is the reason behind this failure. When I reached my goal of understanding how markets are behaving, I'm here on this platform to share all my knowledge absolutely for free. And I would not have a concept of mentorship. So I'm not hiding any information or knowledge or tips or tricks that you need to know to be a professional trader. So everything that I've learned is available in the form of videos on this YouTube channel. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into charts and understanding how markets behave in the reality so that you can become a professional trader. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to identify an uptrend. Again, keeping in mind how institutions look at an uptrend and how they perceive an uptrend and how they act into an uptrend, right? So let's get into the charts. Let's start with a simple approach of applying a market structure for ease of understanding. So market moving up, right? Making higher highs, making a higher high, making a higher low, and again making a higher high. This is quite simple, right? What's really important is, let me add a small twist that is not known to much of the traders out. So usually, right, when you see market moving up, taking a pullback, most of them enter the trades here, right? And price moves again. Some of them are lucky at that time. And what you see is a unique approach here, right? This time the pullback has broken the previous lower high, right? We call this as break of structure. I've created a couple of drawing templates so it's easy for me, right? So this is called as break of structure. It's breaking the previous, let me add this too, right? I have a template. So higher low, okay, and then price moves up drastically in the uptrend. So this is what you would be learning in my channel, right? Using this as an opportunity for you to kind of get into an uptrend trade, right? Do not make decisions at this time, because I'll be creating a list of about 6 to 7 videos or 8 videos to give you the complete concept. So start making notes and trying to understand the concept one at a time. Once we complete all the training modules, we will then get into a comprehensive video where we will dive into an actual market and then apply all the concepts that we have learned, and then we will see how to find the opportunities. For now, just try to understand that this is how a high probability buy opportunity is getting created. And the reason why this happens, this is very important, right? Everything has a why in it. So that's really important. You need to question, why is this happening, right? Why is this a high probable trade, right? That's the obvious question you have. And now this is a high probable trade entry for buy. The reason is, see, this is a pullback here, right? So I'm looking at a daily chart. So if prices moved from this level drastically the last time, a lot of retail traders would kind of consider this as a support resistance, right? A support area, right? They would, based on support resistance concept, they'll choose this as a support area, and they'll wait for price to come back and they'll have buy orders placed here, okay? And what market makers do in reality is they push the price below the support zone, right? So they take out all the stop losses, right? So the liquidity is taken out and that liquidity stays in the market, right? And then they move the price back up in the uptrend. So this is what happens with most of the retail traders, and they lose their finances included in this buy trade, right? Now, having this in mind, right, let's get into an actual chart here to understand how this is happening practically. Now, we're looking at a daily chart, okay, and this is a buy trend, and let's try to locate the pullbacks, the true pullbacks or the legit pullbacks that I just mentioned. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay. Okay, here it is. So what is really happening here, right? As we saw in the line graph, the example that we created, this is the higher high, right? The higher price point. And for it to reach this higher high price, there was a pullback. And the price tries to break this pullback, right? As we just saw in the line graph, and then moves back again, making another high. So this is that high probable trade entry that I was talking about. You might see multiple situations here, the small pullbacks, where this is not happening. And the reason why it is important to take an entry in this location is because this is where the obvious move from the big financial institutions has happened, where they're trying to break the stop losses, take stop losses out of retail traders. This is when it's a high probable setup for you to get in, so that you get a lengthy buy back into the buy direction. And when it is not happening is when you should avoid getting into a trade, because this is where it's an automatic rally that's happening and there's no probability. When they are into action is when we get a big move. You can see this, right? When the price has broken the previous pullback, you can actually see the price has moved a whole lot, right? Humongous move. But when you see these small pullbacks, right, the single candle pullbacks, you don't see price moving back so drastically with that high momentum as it occurred here after breaking the last lower high. Okay, we're good, right? So this is one example that I can show you in GBP/USD. Now let's try to move. Okay, so now let's take a look into another chart, the Nifty chart, for my friends out there who are interested in Indian markets and they are constantly looking for opportunities in Nifty. Here is an uptrend, right? So let's get started. Let's mark higher highs. Okay, I have a template, so it's easy for me to plot these, and I can kind of duplicate these. So another higher high, right? Price moving above the previous highest peak. So that's another higher high here. Now let's mark a lower low, which is this. So I have a template, a higher low, right? So this is the last point from where price took a pullback and made a great next higher high. Now, what recently happened, right? Based on the approach that we have, take a look at this, right? This is where price, after making this higher high, came back, right, and broke the previous higher low. As we saw in the previous chart, this is where a lot of traders who trade from support and resistance concept will consider this as a strong buy zone and would have created some buy orders here, right? But it doesn't work the way that retailers know. Since banks and institutions know that this is what is being tried by retail traders, now they would use that approach against the retail traders by pushing the price against these buy orders, right? And what's happening is when they're pushing the price below this, there are stop losses that are hit for all the retail traders who took buy position, thinking that this is a strong buy zone and the price should kind of bounce back from this location, which it did not, right? Ideally it did not. That is the expectations, but it did not. Price went down. So now with our approach, right, we know that this is an obvious thing to happen from the big institution. So we would wait for the price to break down this previous low, right? And then when the price starts reversing back in the direction of the buy, is when we will take an entry. So take a look at this. An entry lies somewhere around this location. We'll talk more into it. And it has now made another higher high. So look at the points that we have gained, right? Humongous, starting from 19357 to where it stands now. Humongous. Just a small quick call out that I want to make, right? You might be just thinking that we picked an entry in a day chart, and it's quite not easy to get entries daily. But believe me, you looking at charts every day and trying to find opportunities and making about 10 rupees of gain or 15 rupees, or in terms of forex 10 pips, 20 pips, those small hunts every day for about 100 pips or 100 units or 100 rupees is really low in comparison to what you would have made as profit in a buy entry here, right? So rather than taking 100 small entries, right, of small opportunities in lower time frames, it is best to kind of grab this kind of big opportunity and kind of involve into a trade and hold your position for a long time, right? So that's kind of an easy approach, because if you're doing a job, you really cannot look at charts for every minute, living a job and other commitments, or if you're studying as a student. So this approach is quite simple, so you can actually know the approach and just look at the charts, and when it triggers, it's not time bound. Another thing that I want to mention. So even you can take an entry here, you can take an entry here too. It's not time bound like small strategies that you have with smaller time frames, where you miss entry with 10 pips or 10 units, you're gone. No, you can actually get into it's quite a flexible approach. Okay, we'll move into another chart, into gold chart, right? We'll try to find the similar pullbacks. Okay, right here. So this is break of structure. Okay, so this is the pullback, right? See, this is where price took a small pullback, right? And then when price came back, which, as I said, retail traders would consider as a strong buy area, right? Consider this is a daily chart. If retail traders are taking a buy entry here, then their stop loss is huge, right? Based on the daily entry, right? Humongous, right? Hundreds of pips or units, right? Or on rupees. Obviously, they cannot afford such a big stop loss to have, right? They would have a stop loss somewhere here, right? But look at big institutions moving the price way beyond their capacity to hold the position, right? Obviously, they know that there is a certain capacity that retail traders have, right, in terms of their account and the size and their mental capacity. And now when that goes against them, right, stop losses are hit and people close their positions, and that liquidity stays here in the market, and they buy those shares or units back from you, and they move the trade back again in the uptrend. You have always dreamed about being into these big buy moves or sell moves, but it's really hard to catch these big moves unless you know how they really act with retail traders. So knowing how big institutions act is important for you to be a successful trader. That is what I'm going to teach you on this channel. Okay, so let's see if there's another opportunity. There's a small opportunity here. Okay, let's also talk about small pullbacks, right? How do you find or identify what is an actual pullback and breaking the previous low, the same concept. So since this is a buy trade, right, look at this candle here, right? After this green candle, you see a red candle which is actually closed below this green candle. So that's a kind of small pullback, right? Those are very small pullbacks. Always wait and no catch hold of those pullbacks that have crossed the previous candle, which is in the opposite direction. That candle moves in the opposite direction, right? The red candle moves in the opposite direction. In this case, since it's a buy trend, the opposite direction is moving down, right? And then the price moves back. You might see some situations like this. See, look at this green candle, right? And there are two small red candles, but they did not close below the green candle, so that is not a valid pullback. So that is the differentiator, right? Look at this green candle, right? And this red candle closing within the green candle. It's not a valid pullback. A valid pullback is only when a red candle like this is a good example, which closes below the green candle. And you can actually see that when it closed below the green candle, the price movement is really great, right? With a lot of momentum. So these are the two good examples. Now, you might also be curious to know how can we trade this price movement, right? Which is going now in the downward direction. You may have traded this higher high. Now you made profits here, you close your positions. Now the price is moving back, right, in the opposite direction. Now you might be curious to know how do we trade this. I'll cover this concept on how to trade a correction in an uptrend. Now this is an uptrend, right? Now this is a correction, price moving down in the opposite direction. So yes, you can trade the corrections too, but you have to be really cautious, and there is a whole lot of details that you need to know and some tips that I'll share with you in the next video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you once again for watching my video. Please do like and share this video so that other friends and colleagues of yours who are really interested to understand and learn trading and make this trading a profession as a passive source of income or a full-time, they get benefited. The special and exclusive offer I have for my subscribers especially is if you're a subscriber and if you add a comment, I'll pick a couple of great questions out of the list from my subscribers, and I'll create the content to answer your questions. That is one exclusive benefit I have for only subscribers. So please be my subscribers to access this exclusive benefits. The second benefit that I have for my subscribers, and it's again exclusive, is I would invite my subscribers of this channel for a live webinar session. So you can have a one-on-one conversation, right? Ask questions live and get answers for your questions. So I'll be having a webinar once in a month. So I'll pick 300 subscribers out of the first ones signing in, and the next list of subscribers gets a next chance. So these are the two great offers that I have exclusively only for subscribers. So see you again in my next video. Don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you get notified as soon as I add new content. Be the first one to learn the unique trading approach, which is for the first time available on YouTube, absolutely for free. Nothing hidden, all secrets revealed to you absolutely for free. Thank you.